Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. This insightful saying by Leo Tolstoy is a valuable reminder for all of us to reflect inward. The renowned 19th century Russian author suggested that we ask ourselves what God really wants us to do. As Leo Tolstoy said, "In the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you." A novel by Tolstoy is not a work of art, but a piece of life, stated Matthew Arnold, a 19th century British poet and critic. In addition to his renowned epic novels, Leo Tolstoy wrote essays and letters that conveyed the spiritual truths he came to realize in life. Along with adopting and promoting the vegetarian diet, he became deeply interested in spirituality and living by the ethical teachings of Christ. The concepts he conveyed through his writings about peace and the fulfillment of God's will greatly influenced 20th century leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Supreme Master Ching Hai spoke about the uplifting nature of Leo Tolstoy's work during a group meditation session with our association members in July 1997 in Los Angeles, USA.
Because Tolstoy was a practitioner, That's why when you read his stories, most of the stories about spirituality, about God, and very happy, very positive. It's very good to read him, to read his book. You try. If you haven't, you try. You can read more, Such thing is very good for you.
We would like to share with you an insightful excerpt from Volume 2 of The Pathway of Life called Effort. This section highlights the active striving and pure-minded focus that are needed to ensure our spiritual progress. 3. The striving after perfection requires mental effort. Be you perfect, even as your heavenly Father is perfect, says the Gospel. This does not signify that Christ commands man to be as perfect as God, but that every man must make efforts of mind to strive after perfection, and in this striving is the life of man. Every creature grows up gradually and not all at once. A science cannot be mastered all at once. Neither can sin be overcome all at once. There is only one way to grow better, by wise judgment and constant patient effort. Lessing said that it is not the truth which gives joy, but the effort which a man must make in order to attain it. The same may be said of virtue. The joy of virtue is in the efforts made to attain it. The following admonition is engraved on the bathtub of Emperor Qing Tang. Daily renew thyself completely, do so again and again from the beginning. If a man is not engaged in research, or if he is engaged in research and fails therein, let him not despair or cease. If a man does not question enlightened persons regarding doubtful matters, or questioning them fails to attain enlightenment himself, let him not despair. If a man does not meditate, or meditating fails to comprehend clearly the essence of good, let him not despair. If a man does not distinguish good from evil, or in distinguishing lacks a clear conception, let him not despair. If a man does not perform good deeds, or in performing them does not devote his whole strength to them, let him not despair. Whatever others have accomplished with one bound, he may be able to accomplish after 10 trials. Whatever others have accomplished after 100 trials, he may be able to accomplish after 1,000. He who truly shall follow this rule of constant effort, no matter how ignorant he be, will attain enlightenment. No matter how weak he be, he will attain strength. No matter how depraved he be, he will surely acquire virtue. If a man performs good deeds merely because he has acquired the habit of doing good, his is not yet the truly good life. Good life commences when man makes efforts in order to be good. You say that it is not worthwhile to make efforts, for, strive as you may, you can never attain perfection. But your business is not in attaining perfection, it is in the constant striving after it. Let not man think lightly of evil in his heart. I am so far from evil that it cannot touch me. Little drops fill a vessel with water. Little by little, the madman who does evil deeds is filled with evil. Let not man think lightly of goodness, saying in his heart, I have no strength to receive goodness. As the vessel is filled drop by drop, even so the heart of that man who performs good deeds is filled with goodness as he strives towards blessedness. To make life continuous joy instead of sorrow, be always good to all, men and animals alike. In order to be always good, you must train yourself to be good. In order to train yourself to be good, you must not commit a single unkind action without reproving yourself. If you do this, you will soon acquire the habit of being kind to all, men and animals alike. And if you become accustomed to kindness, joy will ever reign in your heart. The virtue of man is not measured by prodigious feats, but by his daily efforts. For, in striving after perfection, man must rely on his own strength alone. What a mistake to ask God or even people to rescue us out of an undesirable condition. Man requires no one's help, nor need he be rescued out of any condition. He has need of one thing only, to make an effort of his own mind in order to free himself from sins, errors, and superstitions. Only to the extent that a man delivers himself from sins, errors, and superstitions can his condition change or improve. Nothing so weakens the strength of a man as the hope of finding salvation and happiness in anything outside of his own efforts. We must rid ourselves of the idea that heaven can correct our errors. If you prepare food carelessly, you do not expect that Providence will intervene to make it tasty. Even so, if after a series of senseless actions you have misdirected the course of life, you must not think that divine intervention will set everything right. There is within you the knowledge of what constitutes supreme perfection. There are likewise within your own self obstacles to its attainment. Your condition is what you must work over in order to approach perfection. You sin yourself, you encompass evil yourself, you flee from sin yourself, you purify your thoughts yourself. You are evil or you are pure in your own self. Another cannot save you. To say that I cannot refrain from an evil deed is to say that I am not a man but an animal. Men often think so, but no matter how strongly they may affirm this, they know within their own hearts that as long as they have life, they can cease from evil and commence to do good. There is no moral law if I cannot obey it. Some say we are born selfish, covetous, lustful, and we cannot be otherwise. Yes, we can. First, we must feel in our hearts what we are and what we should be, and then we must make an effort to strive towards that which we ought to be. Man must develop his good inclinations. Providence did not implant them in man fully developed. They are embryonic. To make himself better, to improve himself by labor, therein is the principal task of a man's life. Jubilant viewers, thank you for joining us on today's Words of Wisdom.